So a new glitch was found in Street Fighter. It lets you dash into a charge move. After you're in block stun, you wake up, or you're doing air flip out. That. Is this glitch useful? I don't know. But here's a chart to show you how to do it. I'll explain it first. These are in groups of 3, and they'll be numbered 1 for the first one, first group of 3, 2 for the second, 3, 4, and 5, and you get it. So we're going to look at the second group of 3 first. So on the first row, frame count. So it's just counting the frame that they're on. This is because this is a readout from a tool you use to play the game back frame by frame. I'm not sure yet. No, it's not play it back frame by frame. It's inputting things perfectly on each frame. But first row, that's just frame count. Second row, that's the input that's being used. So L is for left, R is for right. Light kick, well, LK is light kick, which is obvious. And then the third row is what's currently happening to the character, which is Alex in this case. So the rise U, that's his standing up animation, as if he's been knocked down and now he's standing up again. So the rise U, IASA, that is the last frame of it. So anything that has IASA, that means it's on the last frame of that thing. For example, under it, there's dash, and on 19th frame of the dash, it's the IASA, which stands for interruptible as soon as. So, which is kind of self-explanatory. And then it goes into slash elbow, which is the last important one. It's the light one, which is the L means. And then the 901 is just its index number, because every move is indexed for characters, just so you don't have to call it by name. You know, it's for computer science. It's computer reasons. It's just better that way. So slash elbow. So what we're trying to do is on wake up and stuff like that, where anywhere where the reversal message would come out on screen. The one that if you do a special move after block stun or waking up and that kind of stuff, that you get that reversal message if you did a special move. That anytime that would come out, we are able to dash into a special move because of this new fancy dancy little glitch. So what you do is you charge the move. This is what all those L's. This is still the second group. So all those L's that's charging, you leave a blank space because you can look at this fourth group. The fourth group, there's no blank space between the L and the R, which is left to right, so backwards to forwards. But there is, and then they do the dash input, but just slash elbow comes out. So that's why you need no input when you go left to right. This almost never happens with sticks, but you can do it on pad, which is why pad is cheating. No, I'm just kidding. Pad's not cheating. But it's pretty much you charge it, you leave an empty space, and then within about 4 frames before you actually wake up, you can count it out yourself, but about 4 frames is when you have to do your dash input as well as doing your charge move input. And when you do that, you get a dash, and at the end of the dash, you do a slash elbow. Now, why does this happen? Because this doesn't seem to make any sense from what people know about this game. But pretty much what happens is there's this thing called input priority, where it's like heavy buttons. When you press it at the same time as a medium button, you don't get a medium move, you get a heavy move. Pretty much you get a heavy move if you press it at the same time as the medium button. It also works for special moves and dashes, which are the important ones here. If I'm remembering right, if you do a dash at the same time you do a special move, just in the game, you get... Oh god, you get one of them. You don't get both, like you do here. I think you get dash, but don't quote me on that. I don't actually remember. Which is funny, because I checked this out yesterday. pretty much you get one of them. You don't get both. What happens here, because one of them has a higher input priority. So if you do both inputs at the same time, it'll just choose, it'll interpret that the game will go, okay, you just did whatever one has a higher input priority, ignore the other one. So, but the weird thing is that it doesn't work when you're doing it as a reversal. Because, so, I'm going to guess that dash has a higher input priority. Because it'd make more sense this way in the code. Again, I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't actually seen the code. But special moves probably gained input priority when they're done as a reversal. Why? I don't know. Probably to make it easier to mash out special moves. But I don't really know. Don't ask me about this stuff. Don't ask me about design decisions, because I'm not a designer, and I don't work for Capcom or anything like that. But reversal special moves probably gain input priority, and they accidentally set it the exact same as buffering at dash input priority. So what happens is, the game gets both the dash input and the special move input at the same time. And since there's no other case in the game where it has to deal with two inputs from the same player at the exact same time that are different moves, like, it'll just choose to do both, which is probably the smartest idea, because the other alternative is to just crash the game, which is always a fun option. But regardless, it does both. So you do your dash first. For some reason, it's literally arbitrary. And then you do your slash elbow, or your scissors, or I don't know, Kikoken from Chun-Li. Anything that's a back forwards charge move, a sonic boom. But that's pretty much it. So then the thing is this actually useful? Well, I'll go first of, is this easy to do? This is not easy to do. Because you have a 10 frame window to input both dash and your charge move, but you also have to time it within about 4 frames. So, you're doing a very fast dash, you're doing a fast dash input, because normal dash input is about, I'd say 13 frames. As dash input is lenient, and you generally don't have to time dashes that much. And you definitely don't have to go from charging into dash instantly. As well, it's just hard to time. You don't actually have to hit the dash and the charge input on the same frame like they do in this, but you have to both be within that 4 frame window. So it's best if you can hit it on the same frame. And also, especially for pad, not being able to go backwards to forwards in one frame is harder. It's something that you sometimes have to actually look out to not do. So it's a decently hard input. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it takes a while to get used to. And it definitely takes a while. More time than I was willing to put in. So if you look at the clips that I'm going to show again after this, they all use a turbo. Just because I wanted clips to use, and I didn't want to have to steal someone else's clips. So, but pretty much, now I'll go into, is this actually useful? And the answer is no. Probably no, but that's with an asterisk of, I don't actually know if this ever has use, but I couldn't find any at all. There's no situation I could think of that this would be useful. The closest thing I came to this being useful is, pretend you're facing full screen against like Guile or someone, and you're playing, I don't know, M. Bison. And you are just blocking sonic booms because you forgot how to jump or something. I don't know. You forgot how to move forwards. You're playing Bison, you can't move forwards anyways, I guess. Pretty much, you want to block sonic boom, you want to dash, and then you want to do scissor kicks, because you think you'll be in range. So, if he throws 2 sonic booms, well, a sonic boom, you block it, and he just wants to 2 more because I don't know. He's not actually thinking. He's just throwing sonic booms. But if you do that, you will. This might be useful. You'll hit them if it's thrown. If I'm not actually sure if Scissor Kicks and Fireball invincible. I'm pretty sure V Trigger one is. So pretend you're also in V Trigger. But that's the closest thing I could come up with to being useful. Other than that, I really don't see any use. Because the problem is you actually have to be in block stun or waking up or something. So in most cases you're pretty close. And in the other cases, using a charge move isn't actually better than using just a normal in a lot of cases. Like Alex's slash elbow, it's -2, but if you're dashing forwards, you might as well just do forward heavy punch, which is +3, and it leaves you with a mix-up. For the most part, it doesn't really always give you a mix-up.